I'm Vic Myers. Welcome to the Resistance. Do you know where your members of Congress are? I know where they're not. They're not working. The last week of May started with Mike Johnson whining like a spoiled brat because Congress hasn't had a pay raise on its $174,000 a year minimum salary since 2009. Then we heard him and other members of Congress whining because the American people are getting serious about stopping those guys from making stock trades that you and I would go to jail for. And what exactly are these guys doing that makes them feel entitled to a pay raise in the first place? Four of the biggest and most unpopular issues in America right now are the war in Iran, Trump's billion-dollar ballroom, ICE funding, and Trump's slush fund for J6 traders. These are issues that demand congressional attention. These are issues that they receive almost 3 times the typical American salary to work on. And that's before the speaking fees, book deals, and stock trading privileges. But that week, the Senate started their vacation early when Republicans shut it down rather than vote on ICE funding, the ballroom, and the J6 slush fund, because the outcome might have angered Trump. And over in the House, Mike Johnson shut things down early because he would have lost the War Powers Resolution vote. That also would have angered Trump. None of these Republicans are meeting with their voters because they're afraid to meet their voters. Imagine going to work and deciding partway through your shift that, well, work is just too darn hard today, and leaving early, going on a 2-week vacation. You and I couldn't do that and expect to get full pay and benefits. We could expect to get fired. To quote a great American by the name of Stephen Colbert, meanwhile, the federal minimum wage of $7.25 an hour hasn't increased since 2009. And the only substantive legislation these guys have passed in the last 2 years includes taking food benefits away from poor Americans. People in their late 50s and early 60s are being made to work or volunteer 80 hours a month unless they can prove they're disabled. And that's a process that takes a minimum of about 8 months. And they've made approvals harder to get, and then it can take years of appeals. Congress is requiring older Americans to work or volunteer more hours for food assistance than Congress is scheduled to work this year. I think it's time we start putting work requirements on the freeloaders in Congress. Thanks for listening. Good day.